Here we go.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, how's everyone doing today? Today's not an Arsenal stream. Today we're going to be talking about Chelsea, because every single time I've mentioned anything related to Chelsea, people are telling me, stop talking about Chelsea. Focus on your own club. You've got an agenda. You're being negative. You're being this. It's like, I'm just giving you my perspective on things. And if I'm being labeled with this guy that's negative. First of all, I was proven right by Todd Boehly spending and where you guys finished last season, that you guys were somewhat of a mess, and your January transfer window and your summer transfer window were a mess. Now, from there on, how you guys do, let's see. But at this moment in time, I feel like the question is, are Chelsea a mess? I think it's a cast-eyed fact. But people are telling me, oh, we're in a rebuild. It's an agenda. We're not a mess. We got things better now. And then, of course, we're going to get into some of the transfer news. Andrew's going to be jumping back in any moment now. I don't know where he went immediately when the stream started. But let me know what you guys think. If you're watching live or you're watching on the playback, let me know what you guys think about Chelsea Football Club and their current state. Are they in their rebuild? Do you think they're doing things the right way? Or do you think they're a little bit of a mess and they're falling behind the likes of Liverpool, Man City, Arsenal, Manchester United? And we got Alex here because Alex wants to jump on. He's always saying, send me the link, because he's triggered by all these things that people are saying on the stream. And of course, Andrew's
not people, you.
Okay, so what do you
don't lie?
Say? Because you're here to challenge me on my points around Chelsea, and I'm here to tell you what my thoughts are. So let's go.
Fairs.
This can be like first takes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
The biggest thing is Chelsea is in a mess.
Chelsea are in a mess.
Yeah, we're 12. We finished 12. If anybody says that it's not a mess, you're crazy. But I don't think the way you saying it, that it's like a mess, that it's kind of like a unfixable mess. I understand that you not following Chelsea, it could be looking to you. It's like, oh, it's so critical. Nobody knows what we're doing, and it's no end to it. I literally saw the end in January transfer window. I understood what's gonna happen in January transfer window. So that's the only thing. When the way you say it, it's like it's a mess and it's no end to it. And I was gonna explain you why that mess ended in January. That's it.
So you're saying the mess ended in January, but your form didn't pick up. You guys still performed terribly.
The mess does not affect the form of the team during the period that already bizarre. The mess just continue, but the understanding of the mess was stopped for me personally. Do you see what I'm saying?
So you feel like you're no longer in a mess, and you feel like you're headed in the right direction?
Of course I am.
Okay. Andrew, what about you? What are you saying? You think Chelsea is still in a mess, or you think you guys are headed in the right direction?
I see. It's hard. I think we're a bit of both at the moment. I think every Chelsea fan is waiting for the Caicedo deal to be completed, and then there's be a big sign of relief.
No, we're talking about the mess as like a Chelsea Football Club is a mess total. Like,
oh, it's a mess. Ownership. Oh, sorry, I do apologize.
No, but signings is included.
Yeah, but okay. So I think we were during last season a mess, even after January with the Potter stuff and then the Lampard stuff and everything like that. But I think we're on the road though. I think we're on the starting, whatever you want to call it. We're on the road to sort of not being in a mess with the sales that we've had and hiring Poch and something like that. But time will tell. I still don't know what this team's going to look like after the last day of the transfer window. Then I can go, then I can look forward to. Then I can be more predictable in what I say. So, it's just stuff like that. But I think we were in a mess, and it was obvious we were in a mess because of the way we're performing and stuff like that. And it was just the management, the mess with the management and stuff like that. And even like Chelsea fans they just gave up during that scene, just wanted it to be over. So
I'm just gonna give you guys a list of things that Chelsea fans specifically criticized me for. Beginning of the season.
Can I add to the mess thing?
1 second. Before you go, I'm just gonna give you my list, and then you can say what. First things first. Before the season started, I didn't have you in my top 4. I had you guys falling out, and I also had I did not have Manchester United in there. I had Tottenham actually in the top 4 over Manchester United and Chelsea.
Before last season or before coming season?
Last season.
Okay.
Last season, and people criticized me for that. I also, when the season ended, the season prior, when you guys got top 4 and you finished 3rd, and I seen how you guys were poor form, I said you guys were having poor form and that this was going to continue unless you guys make some major changes. You didn't make any major changes. It led to your manager getting sacked, and at the same time, another time.
Oh, you don't think firing Tuchel is a major change?
No. I called it. I called it. The moment that you guys lost that game in the Champions League, I'm like, they're gonna do something drastic, and Tuchel might be gone. I actually called it. I did a TikTok the night before.
Wow,
and I said, I don't know how Tuchel survives this. The next day, he got sacked. Now, once again, another thing I got criticized for. I said you guys need to rebuild in the back end of the season when you guys finished 3rd. And what happened? You guys didn't rebuild. You guys thought you could paper over cracks by bringing Raheem Sterling, Koulibaly, and all these guys, and you thought you had this amazing transfer window. I called it from there. I said Raheem Sterling was going to be a flop. I didn't know Koulibaly was going to be this bad personally, and no one could have predicted Fofana would have got injured. But everything I said basically came to fruition in that sense, right? Then you have the next step where when Graham Potter came in, it's like, yes, Graham Potter's in. He's a better manager than Arteta. We're going to do well with Graham Potter. He's going to do well. I remember this. You guys cannot even lie to yourselves and say you don't remember this.
I wanted Potter.
When Potter came in, I said nothing's going to change. It's going to take him at least a year, and I don't think Chelsea fans have the patience to go through the downs. And with a new manager, because you guys have just won the Champions League with Thomas Tuchel, you're gonna have high expectations, and you're basically setting him up for failure from day one. And you know what people said to me? Oh, because Arteta took 4 years.
And here's when a first point where I disagree with you. I agree with you with all of it before what you just said. Yeah, I don't think I ever said that personally, but I will not be surprised if some Chelsea fans said that they had the amazing transfer window in the summer, even though every Chelsea fan said we need DM. I don't know how.
No, I remember people said you won the transfer window.
I don't know who said
no,
it.
No, it's
exactly.
First on the transfer window.
Exactly.
No, but once you
My
spent
point.
all that
No,
money.
hold on. Let's not make it bizarre.
Okay.
What I remember, and I'm gonna answer from my point of view. I will never say that we had the amazing transfer window if we did not sign the DM, because I hate Jorginho's guts. That's number one. Number two. The only thing I disagree with you on that point is that you saying that Chelsea will not give Potter time. Potter, right? Isn't
you guys didn't give Potter time.
Oh, hold on.
He was gone less than 6 months.
Like again, let me finish what I'm saying. Do you think that if Potter was under Roman Abramovich, he would stay as long as he stayed?
No, if he was under Roman Abramovich, he would have never got hired.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Chelsea fans actually gave Potter as much time as any other club would done.
No, that's ridiculous.
You see, that's what you're confusing. If Potter was at Arsenal, you will be screaming you need to fire him the same time that we did, because we on a relegation path.
No, I understand that.
So if you think that I don't care how much time you give, this is below to give him time.
Listen, my point is not about what happened. My point was before it happened, I said you guys are not going to have patience with him, and that he was not going to be able to come in and just make the changes right away. The squad was unbalanced. You had players. You had players that are older players. You had players that are younger players, and neither of their timelines mesh with the actual performances on the pitch. And your midfield was decimated with injuries and young players that couldn't get their games going, like Mason Mount and Conor Gallagher. So your issues were way more than just the manager. The construction of the squad was a bigger issue than the managers. You had 3 managers in one season, and none of them could get it right. It's because of the squad. This was deeper than just the managers.
Yeah, and I agree with you. It was a mess up until January.
And it was visible for people to see.
And everybody agreed with you until January.
Whenever Chelsea fans call it out, like Winter Surfer will call it out, he gets called negative. Or when I, as a rival fan, say it, people say, stop talking, you have an agenda. But the reality is,
I don't think anybody...
There was visible signs.
Start to call Chelsea mess officially and loudly after the January transfer window. and that's
No,
when it started.
I was calling them a mess, and I was calling their transfer window messy from the summer. I have footage on the terrace. I can bring you the proof.
Okay. My point of is why I think that mess was up until January, and I knew the Potter will not survive at the end of the season for the specific reason. He had one thing. We had a lot of players. There's no doubt about it. The problem is he did not have a guts to do what Ten Hag did and get rid of, and I don't care how is either suck me now or play the only 11 that I want. He did not have the guts, so for me, he should have been gone. That's not up to the mess.
You know what? I actually don't disagree with you. Potter, it was untenable.
Exactly.
So
my point is with why they changed the window in January literally changed my mind about the way Chelsea did. Because I understood with signing with Enzo what kind of team we are building. So for me, I already saw then what directions we're going. I saw which players already decided to leave. Like Ziyech's, like Pulisic's, I knew what's the major clear out is. So for me, that point of view already changed from January. It just wait until the end of the season. My question was to you specifically, as a point before, you and Hussam and Terry was saying one thing. What before the transfer window opened in the summer? This one. What's the biggest problem for Chelsea?
You guys didn't bring in your players before preseason. It caused disruption, and you didn't recruit the right players. You didn't get a midfielder. No. You got. No,
this summer. Now.
This summer now.
This summer. Before
we
this summer,
we haven't even gotten to this summer because the issues were so far back.
You started the conversation before the summer start. This summer, you started saying things. I don't believe Chelsea gonna be nobody next season. And I literally quoting you say what you said before.
When
you said the biggest problem with Chelsea next season is going to be they think they're gonna have to able to get rid of all those players, but they won't.
And
so
you know
that's
what?
number one. That's what you said.
1 second. I'll admit that you guys did a great job getting rid of those players, and I didn't think you were going to get rid of them. But you did also just bring some of them in recently, and you sold them for peanuts compared to what you brought them in for.
Why? So name one.
In the same breath, you did a good job. Koulibaly. How much did you bring Koulibaly in for? And how much did you
42 million pounds?
And you
no, it's 40 million euros, so it's about 34 million pounds.
35 million pounds. How much we sold them?
How much?
I believe it's wait a minute. It's like 20. I think
28
it's 18,
something.
No. It's like 18 million to.
No, not Koulibaly. That's what's his name?
Who are you talking about?
What's the name? That was the what's his name? The one that broke his knees that didn't end up transferring.
Oh, you're talking about Hakim Ziyech.
Ziyech. For Ziyech, we were asking 18, not for Koulibaly. I think Koulibaly went for 28 or something.
No, I think
that much.
No, I think it was 7. I think it was
25.
20,
okay, you bought Koulibaly. You bought Koulibaly for like 38. It says here 38 million euros on transfer.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
And then you sold them for 23. So good job there. Apparently, you guys did a great job there, right? Saudi.
Hold on a second. Are you retract that we signed it for will sold for peanuts? Are you retracting your word?
1 second. I think you did a good job on selling Mason Mount. I think you did a good job on selling Koulibaly. I think you did a good job on selling these players. But in the same
Havertz.
But in the same breath, within the last calendar year, you've bought in how many players, and you still have not shown any level of success. So I'm going to give you credit where credit's due. I'm going to give you credit where credit's due. But it's not only about getting rid of those players. 1 second. I'm going to give you credit because you were able to do something I didn't think you were going to be able to do. So I'll give you credit there. And I'll put my hand up. I didn't think you guys were going to be able to get rid of all these players. You did well. You got rid of Mason Mount. You got rid of Kai Havertz. And you even sold Kai Havertz to my club for 65 million. Like, I didn't think that was going to ever happen. I didn't think even we were interested in Kai Havertz.
Why did you say that we sold everybody for peanuts? Please.
No, in comparison to what you brought in some of these guys for.
And exactly. Please name me. I ask you for one. You bring me Koulibaly. It wasn't true. Which one is next?
1 second. You still
I'm
haven't
gonna
sold
hold
Lukaku.
you, man.
You still haven't sold Lukaku.
Okay.
Still didn't sell it. Okay,
We have, but we have.
Let Andrew jump in for a second.
I'm just saying we can't. I'm just saying we also have to make. We also have to remember the contracts that these players are on. They depreciate over time. So actually getting money from, like, say, someone like Pulisic, who's on 1 year left, getting something like 22 million euros, something like, even Loftus-Cheek, I think he's on a year left, right, Alex, or something like that. He's like got 18 million or something like that. But also, I think it's what we've always wanted. I think Alex and I are on the same wavelength of this. To get rid of them, you're going to have to take some hits in terms of finance just to get them out the door. You have to do. That was the problem. That's the problem why we've only just got rid of Baba Rahman after 9 years. We've only just got, and Bakayoko after like 6 years, whatever, how many, I don't know how long it was. It felt like 9 years. But that was the problem with the old board. As much as the great things that they did before anyone has a go, it outweighs the negative by a very long distance. But one of their problems was adding either adding an additional year after year or pricing people out when they're not even playing. That was the problem. And these guys have probably gone, let's get as much as we can for what they're worth on. Like, for instance, Kai Havertz 65 million is actually a profit for Chelsea on the books because of the appreciation in his contract.
1 second.
Thank you.
And stuff like that. So it's just, I think it's just good business all around. I think every club should be willing to negotiate.
What does jellyfish have to do with anything?
Oh, this is a term made up by what's his face. So jellyfish.
Oh, okay.
They're squishy. They're squishy. They're not. But jellyfish can sting.
Term.
Jellyfish can sting as well. I just want to let people know they can sting.
Okay, so one thing we can all acknowledge: Chelsea did really well selling, right?
Right.
We can give.
So you
credit.
take UL, right?
No. But I was basing it on what your sales this window have been amazing. I'll give you that.
Right.
But in the same breath, you're spending all this money and you're not seeing a lot of return.
Hold on.
So that's another thing. That's in conjunction to your transfer.
We're gonna break it down by the player that you're saying was spending so much money. Which one?
No, because look at it. I reevaluated it. Besides Kai Havertz, Kovacic, and Koulibaly and Mendy, you haven't really taken, and you've taken only marginal hits on them. You haven't really taken big hits on them. So I'll give you that.
No, I'm saying you said we spent so much money. Name.
What do you mean?
Name the big money that we spent. Mudryk? Is that what you want?
I'm talking about last transfer window. Yeah, you spent.
Mudryk,
overall, you spent a lot of money.
Okay, how much? 600, right? That's the speeding rate going on around. Hold on.
No, you spent around 611 euros.
Yeah. That's based.
Last 1 second. Let me answer. Obviously, Enzo's a quality player. Fofana's a quality player. You spent a lot of money on Mudryk. You spent a lot of money on Cucurella. You haven't seen the return on those players yet. You spent a lot of money on Raheem Sterling. You haven't seen the return on that yet.
40 million for Raheem Sterling, English player.
If I'm not mistaken, Badiashile is still young, so I'll give him a lot of time. And he's not too much money spent on him. Koulibaly, what was it, 38 million? You got a big chunk of that back, so you did well there. And then the rest of the players, it's not too much. But you're still spending 20 million, 10 million here on a lot of risks.
Egal.
And we don't know if you're going to see the return there.
Let's have a
For example, 1 second. For example, today you loaned out Fofana. It almost seems like did you buy him with the intent to loan him out?
Yes, they call the sweatshops of Chelsea. We use them to make Chelsea money.
Okay, so you never had intentions to play him.
I think it's going to work out like that. I really do. I think it's going to be
because
can I just break it down? And Alex is going to be bored by this story because he said it so many times.
Do that.
No, but that's what we did.
No, you don't do it.
But you do realize they changed the system. You can't have the loan army the way you used to.
I know. But what I'm saying is
lie.
We will
internationally.
No, that's not a lie. That's literally a fact.
No, internationally they limited youngsters. Yes, we still can.
No, but he's not from your academy. They have to be from your academy.
He takes up. Yes, we have 7. I believe it's 7 loan slots.
Overseas, you don't even know the rule, bro.
No, overseas ones you have to have limits.
He's from overseas.
No. But he's only 7. The rest of ones that we buy in, the 15, 16s that goes to Chelsea, we buy more than just him.
So you're saying, listen, I'm just saying, because even though he's underage, because he's from overseas, he takes up one of those numbers. So
there's 7 slots. He's taking up one of them. But what I'm saying is we're only doing what we've done prior to 2019. We've always done this, though. It's nothing new. That's what the fan base and others have to get through their mind.
This is the thing. You think that we signed him for the first team, which is funny to us because we know he's gonna make us money. We're gonna send him work guy. Go work.
It's just.
Hey, I was told when he signs that he's the next Didier Drogba, but now I'm being told that.
Who told you this, Egal? I want names.
This is what you guys were saying literally 6 months ago.
Who told you this?
6 months ago, there was articles about it. I swear to God, I'm not making this up.
Well, I listen. Then that's just madness. How no one's? Can I just say before he signed for Chelsea?
From Ivory Coast also.
Right, but before he signed for Chelsea, not even a Chelsea fan had heard from Datro Fofana. Like it's this whole thing about. Because he's black and from Ivory Coast, he's the new Didier Drogba. It's just lazy, pathetic, stereotype reporting.
By the way, if you believe that thing...
No, but look at it this way. Low risk, high reward. We did it with Martinelli. You guys tried to do it. Maybe it flopped. And then you guys got rid of it. You guys got rid of him in a month. But personally, for me, it looks to me that you guys don't have a clear direction with what you're doing with some of your signings. Because why was he in and around the first team? Was it because of the injuries only? Or were you guys actually going to ever give him a chance?
Name the Chelsea strikers last season.
But were we able to? I don't know if we
have Aubameyang. Who else?
That's it.
I think Broha got injured. Who else?
That's it.
Broha got injured.
Why didn't he get an opportunity? He
and someone can help me in the chat. I don't know if we could have loaned him out in January. Maybe we had the two slots all sewn up. I don't know.
Yes.
You guys didn't play him 3 games in the Premier League?
Hey,
he played because we only had.
Remember who we had? We had Potter, who complained about the squad being too big, and rightfully so, and stuff like that, right? And he was fighting for his job. He's not gonna go with a guy that no one knows about. And second of all, and then you had Frank Lampard, who's just a complete and utter bonehead. Do you know what I mean? He's got no licenses, and so we'll go predictable Havertz like everyone goes with. So he was never ever going to get the chances, and that's the problem. And like I said, I don't think you'll ever see him really play for Chelsea ever, unless somehow he has an outstanding he has like a Balogun season with Union Berlin like Balogun had, and then we'll either give him a chance or we'll sell him. That's what.
Let me say this though. One more thing. Don't you guys feel like the way it is that you guys have been doing your transfer windows the last 2, actually I'll say 3, including this one. First, you guys buy a bunch of players before with Tuchel there. Some of those players are Tuchel signings, some of them are the club signings, and then you spend all that money on senior players. Then you have the transfer window where you buy all the young players in January. It's a completely different strategy. Now this window, you're having a fire sale. Do you feel like all of these are kind of reacting to the mistakes that they made previously, or do you think these are plans? These are plans that they put in place? Because to me, it looks like they're reacting to mistakes that they've made previously.
I think January's window is a reaction to the summer window because we had the infrastructure in. We didn't have the infrastructure in the summer. It was Todd Boehly was let down. He was let down by Marina and Peter Cech. They both left, and he was not fired. They both left.
Not fired, exactly. Another lie you said.
And then let me finish, Alex, before you go in. Sorry. And then January, when we had the infrastructure in, that's when the whole basically the youth movement happened, or the young player movement happened. And this is why there's always this season, if you're speaking to rational Chelsea fans, it was always going to be more outs than ins this summer. Because first of all, the squad's too big. And it lacks, and also it's a lot of deadwood. We thought we got rid of a lot of deadwood in the summer before. That was we didn't realize it was deadwood underneath the deadwood. That's how much deadwood we have. There was levels of deadwood, and that's what they've done. Because let's face it, we're playing once a week, right? We don't need this season. We don't need a massive squad. We just don't. We just don't, right? And that's why there's going to be
quality. And I feel like
I totally agree. There is quality.
We'll get to quality. We'll get to quality.
There's a lack of. One second. with everything that's being done previously, going into this transfer window, you guys found yourself in a situation where you had a massive squad and you had like this deadline or this false deadline that you had to sell a bunch of players before, and you're able to sell a bunch of these players before the 31st.
No, we actually needed created 80 million of profit before the June 30th, and that's it.
And you guys did that. Not only did you do that, you did that with basically like two players. You didn't need to do too much to do that. And you also got rid of a lot of wages. A lot of your high-earning wage players also left this transfer window, which will allow you to spend more money based off FFP. So I see where you guys did that. But don't you guys feel like now you lack quality in your first team? In the sense that you got rid of so many players, maybe not your first team only, but also your bench. Because you got rid of so many players, your team's looking thin. Defensively, you look solid because you still have a lot of defenders. Goalkeeper, you only have Kepa. Midfield, you have Enzo. You have, Conor Gallagher still there. What's his name? The guy from Aston Villa. Yeah, that guy. And Nkunku, you guys are going to play in the 10. So really and truly, I would say you have four players that you can.
You don't rate Mudryk?
No, I'm talking about midfield.
I'm not
even getting to the attack, right?
Okay.
So you guys are kind of short in the midfield already. Then you go to the attack. We already know about the striker situation. Broha coming back from injury. David Fofana just got loaned out. You just bought Jackson. Nobody knows if he's going to be able to cut it at the Premier League yet.
Are we talking about ifs or we're talking about exactly what it is?
Okay. That's a fact, though. We don't know.
No. That's what I'm saying. Like, we're talking about as of right now. Okay.
I'm trying to be fair here. Let me be.
No. You're right. You're right.
And then when you go to the wingers, Raheem Sterling hasn't done well in his first season at Chelsea. He needs to bounce back. Mudryk has had a poor 6 months. He needs to find his feet. And I still believe Mudryk will eventually do well at Chelsea. It's just right now he hasn't looked that good. And then on the right side, you only have Madueke, really.
Yeah.
Who else do you have on that side? With Pulisic gone, who else do you have on the right side? So your team is thin. And what made me realize this was after you sold all these players, if Hakim Ziyech is back, at least he's another backup right winger. You have no real backup right winger to Madueke. So your squad at this moment in time is not even top 10 level. You need at least 4 major signings. And the question is, are you going to get Caicedo, a striker, a goalkeeper, and another midfielder of equal or equal quality to some of these starters in the case of any injuries, you have that squad depth now. Because getting rid of all these players, what you've done, you've made your team weaker.
Okay. Yeah.
For the future, but none of these players that are coming in, I don't think
just let me know when you're done so I can start talking.
Go ahead.
Okay, so based on what you're saying as of right now, the biggest Chelsea problem was you cannot get rid of all those players. We established we can. So now agenda, why I call it agenda, because first one didn't work. Now it's second, because apparently the problem was those dead players used to be dead then, but now they are a major part of Chelsea's 11. This is why it actually pisses me off, because when before people talk about Chelsea, it used to be you cannot get rid of all those players. They dead. Nobody wants them. We get rid of them. Now all of a sudden those players are first team players and they are quality. I don't understand where's that. Maybe English is not my proper language, but if this is not agenda, I don't know what is. To go
how is it an agenda?
How? Because when you are speaking before Chelsea, you're saying that Chelsea's biggest problem is to get rid of all that wood.
No, you've been able to do that. I gave you credit.
Yeah, but now you're calling it quality players when we get rid of them. I thought it was deadwood.
1 second. Me and you can both acknowledge the transfer window is not over. If you go and address those 4 major signings, which I expect you guys to at least try to do, then you're not going into the season still short and still with an unbalanced squad. But right now, what you've done, you've cut instead of cutting the fat, you've cut the meat down to the bone. You've trimmed it so much where it's like you're now leaving yourself short in certain areas.
I don't think you understand what I'm saying.
I'm trying to see
the difference. I'm trying to see the difference. What you mean? Bad players you can't get rid of him, to a players that you get rid of, all of a sudden, they are quality players.
No, but some of the players you got rid of, they are quality players.
Which ones?
Like, are we not going to say Kovacic, Kante are quality midfielders?
Kovacic and Kante did not even play. We're all injured. That's number one. That's plus Kante was at the end of his career. There's nothing we can do about it. By the way, if Kante was still at Chelsea, I'm not sure he's gonna start over Caicedo.
Caicedo's not here.
That's number one. That's
one
number
thing.
one. What I'm trying to understand, how Chelsea bad players before became such an important part of Chelsea's squad now that we get rid of him.
First of all, nobody here is crying over Mendy leaving or Ruben Loftus-Cheek leaving or even Koulibaly leaving. You know what I mean?
Even Kai Havertz, even Mount, even Pulisic.
Mount and Kai Havertz, as much as you want to criticize them, they're a big part of Chelsea. So was Azpilicueta. Now, we're not talking about them now. One second. We're not talking about them now. We're talking about them in the past. So when we talk about them in the past, we're talking about their ability back then. So when you look at some of these guys, they were a massive part of Chelsea Football Club. Going forward. You're going to have to take steps back to take steps forward sometimes. I get that. And that's what I think Chelsea's doing. I don't think you guys are setting up to try to win now or to even try to be in top four next season. I think you guys are trying to take gradual steps, and next season might just be try to get back into Europe, try to challenge for top four. And if you don't get it, it still won't be a failure in my opinion.
Why are you applying Chelsea process to your process, to Arsenal?
No, because I don't think your expectations next season are realistically that you're going to get top four no matter what.
Based on what?
Based on your team and your squad right now.
Okay, how did Newcastle get top four?
1 second. You're telling me, because I look at the teams ahead of you, Manchester United is categorically better than you. Newcastle right now are categorically still better than you. Based on what I think, this is my opinion. I think Man City is categorically ahead of you. And I think Liverpool's ahead of you. I think there's at least 3 teams or 4 teams in the Premier League right now that you have fallen behind. And on a one-off game, maybe you can beat them. But throughout this calendar season, you're not going to have better performances than them.
Let me ask you a question. Do you
think you are going to have a better season than Manchester City, Liverpool, Arsenal, or Manchester United?
I'm telling you, as of right now, we get in top 4. You can tell me whatever teams you don't think. Okay.
You haven't even done your business yet. At least if you said, let's wait until the end of the transfer window, maybe we'll have a good enough squad to get top 4, I would hear you out. But based on the shit you have right now, you're nowhere near top 4. Andrew, do you not agree?
We had shit before and we win the Champions League.
I think. What? Listen, I admire Alex when he says that top 4. I don't know if he's still doing it too because he's on this channel or anything like that. But because I know I spoke to Alex sometimes. You know, we're usually on the same wavelength and stuff like that. I don't at the moment because I don't know what.
Of course, at the moment, right now, no.
Yeah.
Right this second, no. The window transfer needs to be. I just try to be like, what does it feel to be Egal?
Right.
And say shit and see if it sticks.
I think outside fans and Chelsea fans are looking at this Chelsea squad with the same thing. There are a lot of unknowns in this Chelsea squad yet to do. We have no idea.
We
have no idea if he's going to play a back 4 or not. There's a Levi Colwill he's going to start. There's reports yesterday he wants to take a look at Ian Maatsen. Gusto's coming at right back. Like you said, we barely have a midfield.
I didn't even know Pochettino's going to make a click like that.
Oh, exactly.
Oh,
right.
My favorite, the click thing. I can't wait for that.
I
remember. I remember the clicking thing. Oh,
but at least he's got.
Man became a child and started clapping.
At least though at least he's only got 1 game a week, so he's actually got more time to.
1 second. I just need to know: do any Chelsea fans here believe that their squad is next season is categorically better than Arsenal, Liverpool, Man?
As of right now, no.
No.
As of right now, no.
Would you even say you're better than Newcastle?
That's not what I'm saying.
No.
As of right now, no.
I wouldn't because they're more.
Hold on a second.
So my point was Chelsea's a mess and they're falling behind. And my second part to this whole point was this is all because of Todd Boehly. Because I don't believe if you were still under Roman that this would ever get to this point.
But the problem is like I said before earlier, if we were still under Roman, we wouldn't have had these many sales.
None of this.
No, that's true. That's true.
And that's what I mean.
Let me ask you: is a Chelsea
crumbled
squad
up dead wood trying to mix in with It'd
Let
be
me
the
ask
shit
you,
there
Gal.
being contaminated. New players be contaminated with the shit that's still
You know
there.
what? You're underestimating your former owner. Man.
As
No,
of right
no, it's
now,
not that.
as of
It's
right
not that.
now, is Chelsea squad is better than Newcastle squad exactly in July the 11th.
Is Chelsea squad right now better than Newcastle?
Yeah, Newcastle squad in July 11th. Because remember, they were fighting for relegation that season.
Brother, it's not only about the squad, it's about the squad harmony.
Oh, that's the word I was looking for. Remember your favorite word, and Terry saying like, it doesn't mean that we're gonna click together. That's why I got excited. We finally get to click. I love Egal's click. When you apply those click to other teams, but yours. Let me ask you, clicks, and let's go with clicks. Okay. Clicks in midfield. Let's say how is clicks gonna work with with what's his name, Enzo, and what's his name? That if he's coming, we don't know how we're gonna play, right? We don't.
No.
But when you bring what's his name, Arsenal midfield and potential Arsenal at the end of the season, when what's the guy? Partey leaves, Xhaka leaves, and Kai Havertz come, and Rice come. Oh, wow! Is it going to be based on clicks? Are you giving the doubts of clicks?
Let me ask you a
winning
simple
the
question.
league?
Let me ask you a simple question. By the way, let me ask you a simple question. If you had a choice, right, between the midfield unit of Arsenal, where we also
name the names. Don't need the Arsenal. Name the names.
1 second, because you're saying if Kai Havertz clicks. By the way, if Partey's not leaving yet, Partey's still here, right?
Okay, so I said if
Kai Havertz doesn't necessarily need to start. If Kai Havertz doesn't necessarily need to start, Jorginho is also here. That's another option. So we have options besides Nkunku, Caicedo, and Enzo. Who else do you have in your midfield that you can call upon?
Again, I'm so lost. I'm asking you.
1 second. If you're midfield 3 next season, say you sign
First
Caicedo
of all,
for
we
the
play
100
midfield 2. I don't know what you're talking about. We playing 4-2-3-1. I don't know where you get the third midfielder.
So you're playing 4-2-3-1, but who's your midfield 3? Nkunku, Enzo, and Caicedo. So who is going to come in when
again?
they sub off?
We only have 2 midfielders. I don't know where you stick the third one.
Nkunku's going to be an attacking midfielder. Why are you being?
Nkunku's going to be 10.
That's an
okay.
So
At the moment,
I see what you're saying.
Like, there, it looks like it could be anywhere from Gallagher to probably André Santos.
So people are giving me answers.
To Chukwuemeka.
People are saying Santos.
No. Sterling is going to be. If something is going to happen to Nkunku, Sterling will slide in that position.
Well, that depends if Cherky comes in.
Okay. Yeah. So, 1 second. Now we're getting somewhere. So Sterling is the Nkunku backup. Who's the backup for Enzo?
What's his name? Santos.
There might be Santos.
So Santos is the backup for Enzo. And who's the Caicedo backup?
Santos.
There is none.
Oh, you mean hold on. You mean both of them get injured?
We have 2 in every position. You have 0 besides your main 3.
Okay.
I'm talking about quality in depth.
No.
Yes. You went from a team
I see what you're saying. Wait.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I see what you're saying. So you're saying we need the sub for each position, right? That's what you're saying. Quality. So you give me a scenario. What will happen if Caicedo is getting injured? Enzo, right?
Yeah.
No, not end. I'm just saying, what's your other options? Because I'm big up Lewis in the building. Lewis just joining us also. Lewis, just to let you know, we're talking about squad depth.
I mean, that's gonna be a group rape. It's not gonna be like
squad depth. What?
Okay, Lewis, get your words in now because these.
Okay, Lewis. Basically, we're talking about your team, and you're saying you've sold all these players, but even if you bring in Caicedo, you're still going to be thin in the midfield. You're thin all over the team.
Thin for what? For play one game a week?
Bro,
exactly.
Even if you
play one game a week. We barely have to rotate within the squad throughout the season. We have Gallagher and Nkunku that can play in the 10. We have André Santos that can play as the emergency DM. with what's his name, Enzo and everything. We have Chukwuemeka as well. There's options in the midfield. Centre backs already sorted. We have three left backs. We have 2 right backs. We have 2 goalkeepers. We have a striker. We still have Aubameyang if we need him. So Aubameyang is there as an option too. We have 2 wingers that can play on either side. We are fine.
And I still think they're going to buy. We're going to buy another midfielder.
And exactly. And I don't think we didn't even buy nobody yet.
Like, we're fine. You will not see a lot of rotation with Chelsea through the season. You will see the same 11 with 1 or 2 changes, except maybe the League Cup. Other than that, you'll see the same 11.
The issue is, as I said about 5 minutes ago, it's the unknown. Most of these players, even Chelsea fans, we don't know how they're gonna do. Especially even the ones that are like, if Ian Maatsen is kept, how does he integrate into a Premier League team? Do you know what I mean? How does he do that? How does Gusto
I forgot. Reece James could slide in the midfield.
If this is the thing, like, wanting a player as depth, like, I don't want Gallagher as emergency depth as a 10. I want us to get somebody else. But if he's there, he's available, and he's a player that fills the spot. So it's not like
killing my favorite click object. I waited for the click subject so long, and you're killing it because this is what I want to actually talk about it. The click. You see how Egal gives me ifs and buts and clicks. My midfield needs to click with each other, but his midfield doesn't. Because his midfield is so cohesive, and we're about to lose 3 of them.
No, but we're not losing.
But you're still expected to challenge for title.
1 second. The difference between me and you is we actually have a squad that's been working together for a while. We have a manager who's been working with the system. We don't have to start from scratch.
When did Havertz play?
1 second. Stop comparing yourself to Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City, and even Manchester United because they have a manager. They have a team that has been working together for at least a year minimum. And you guys are literally starting from scratch, rebuilding your whole midfield.
When did Rice play a year for you?
Bro, you're mistaken. Stop comparing yourself to other people.
You're doing the same thing.
No, but you comparing this is the reason why it's my favorite subject.
I'm talking about a squad that's been...
No. Egal, please.
You know yourself, your squad has been unbalanced for how many years?
How many? We won Champions League.
What?
We won Champions League. What unbalance you talking about?
Champions League, and when you won the Champions League,
and we finished above you for 2 seasons before.
When you won the Champions League, you had a functioning midfield, a defense that was elite, a goalkeeper that was on an amazing purple patch, one of the biggest purple patches I've ever seen in my life, and you guys got through it based off your defenses and your midfield quality. Don't tell me you sat there and said even when you won the Champions League, your attack was elite. Your whole team
but there is cohesion there between the defense.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We didn't concede the goal.
How is there cohesion between the attack and the midfield
because the ball's still going forwards cohesively?
And we needed the finisher. That's why we got that fat ass Lukaku.
Midfielders are brand new.
What? You're talking about our team from 2021, though. Not now.
I'm talking about now. Going into this new season. This is the problem. We're confusing 2 different conversations. He keeps bringing up the Champions League. You don't have much players left from that Champions League winning squad to be pointing at and saying we won the Champions League. Who cares if you won the Champions League? Liverpool won the league.
You said our midfield wasn't cohesive for years. That's why.
Yeah, that's what you said.
No, I'm talking about you guys. You guys have always had issues with your squad. You've always said that there's been problems where certain parts of your squad were not cohesive. Even when you won the Champions League, your attack was not fluent. You guys were winning based off your defense and your squad, your midfield.
I'd say our attack was fluid. They just couldn't score to save their lives.
Exactly. That's the problem.
Yeah,
we are third most creative team 2 seasons ago. Again, I don't. You see,
it was always finishing. That was the problem. It was never.
That's why we got that
chance. That was only last season.
Do you think you've improved that with a worse attacking core?
The
bar's in hell, so it won't take long to improve that. It's the worst attack in 99 years, bro.
I didn't want that subject to switch, and it switched. The reason why is I'm calling you as agenda against Chelsea. It's because you're like, why you compare your team against Liverpool and that? No, I'm not comparing that. The reason why I call you have agenda and we hurt your childhood during early 2000s and literally we hurt your whole childhood. And the reason why I said that we did that, it's because I can see it. I'm not bringing up Liverpool. I'm not bringing up United. You did. I'm compared my team to your team. And the way you talk about my team, That's the only reason I want to talk to you. Because when you're talking about my midfield, you're looking for clicks. They need to click. You're about to have a brand new midfield in your midfield, and you're saying you're going to win the league, but you don't apply those clicks to you.
Stop. We still have Partey there. We ease the transition by not having to put so much pressure on players because we still have the alternatives. The only player that's missing from our team last year is Xhaka. The rest of our midfield is still there. Jorginho's not getting sold. Partey's not getting sold. So in that situation, we could still technically be going.
You literally tweeted today you think that Partey is leaving.
Partey is not being sold. If Partey is sold, then we would be bringing in Latvia and we'd be.
So what's your starting midfield? What do you think your starting midfield is going to be next season?
Yeah, if Partey leaves, what's your starting midfield going to be?
No. Like whatever he thinks. Do you think Partey stays or goes?
If Partey leaves or if Partey stays, I still believe he might. There's going to be games where he's going to go with Kai Havertz and Declan Rice, and if Partey's there's going to be games where he's going to go with Rice and Partey and Odegaard.
Where's that clicking going to be if they never played with each other?
Bro, one thing you're forgetting. This is not a new manager starting a new project from the beginning. Number one. Number two, the rest of our squad is a lot better than your squad. So it's a lot easier. It's a lot easier to get things going when you have.
I would agree until you put Kai Havertz into it.
What? It doesn't matter, manager. Like
Havertz
why is
your entire team, brother?
Okay, so this is. I knew this was going to come up eventually. Do you know? I believe you guys have been misusing Kai Havertz the whole time.
I love it.
Go on, talk to me.
We found favorite clicks. Andrew's favorite clicks.
One second. I believe you guys have been misusing Kai Havertz this whole time. He should have been used in the midfield. You didn't use him as a 10. And guess what? In one of your biggest ever games when he did deliver, he was used as a 10.
What about Germany national team? What about German club team?
Can I ask what game was that?
Wait, did they misuse them too?
Bro, in the Champions League final, where was he playing? As a second striker?
Playing up front.
He was a second striker with Timo Werner, no?
Timo Werner's on the left.
Werner on the left, Havertz in the middle, Mount on the right.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. I viewed it as he was a second striker.
Havertz as a striker at the time was much better as number 9 options like Lukaku and Aubameyang. We played a lot more fluid as a team with him in there. We made more chances. He got into the right positions as a striker to finish his chances as well. All brilliant attributes that you would love a striker to have. Get in the right positions, get the best out of the players around you. Why couldn't he finish? Why couldn't he hold up play? Why was his strength horrific? Why would he never win any duels? Why was nothing about him?
Some things can come down to confidence, and you can lose your confidence.
No, it's not confidence because he has the confidence to get into the right positions, the confidence to press, the confidence to link up play. Everything there is as a
he's got played.
So this idea that we misprofiled Havertz is the biggest load of waffle going on Twitter right now because we used him in the right way. His application was dog shit. He won a UCL and coasted off it for 2 years because the fan base let him and his performances dipped and he never recovered. Maybe at Arsenal will be more motivated because he's done jack shit for you guys. And if he starts poorly, you lot will be on his neck from minute 1 like you guys were with Willian. So maybe you'll get a bit more out of him. But at Chelsea, he won a UCL and fell asleep. Simple as it.
Does he have as much pressure on him as Willian would have now that we have an actual decent squad? Think about it.
Yes.
With
he has more.
He's coming from Chelsea to Arsenal as a £65 million whatever player. I don't know what position he is either. But he's been misprofiled and all of this shit. He's coming in to be the missing link between you guys contending for the league title and winning the league title. And plus, he's a face of a UCL, something that you guys haven't got either.
Also,
so he has to succeed.
Also, I do agree with you. He has to do well. But my point is, he won't have as much pressure on him because he has quality players like Jorginho, Partey, also.
The one that he had before at Chelsea? Hold on a second. Did Jorginho play with him at Chelsea?
Yeah, but Jorginho played in the midfield, and Partey and Jorginho are midfielders. That's my point. Partey and Jorginho are bench players for us next season.
You guys went into talks for Mason Mount and came out with Kai Havertz for 65 million, and nobody understands it. This move is massive, not just for Kai Havertz. It's
Mason
not just
Mount would
massive
fit
for Havertz,
Arsenal better.
it's massive for Arteta too. If
I'll go back
if this transfer flops, all of the praise, all of the prop for him is going straight backwards for him.
No,
Because
but
how
one
the
second.
fuck do you get that close to a title? And you go
Understand, Kai Havertz will not have as much defenders worrying about him because he'll have Jesus, he'll have Saka,
He
he'll have
never worries
Martinelli,
about him.
he'll have Odegaard on the pitch with him. He'll have so many other people. He will not have
They
to
never
carry
worried
the team.
about him. We beat Norwich 7-0 and he got no goals and assists.
Every time Kai Havertz was on the pitch, he was one of the most focal point one of your more focal point attackers. Am I wrong? Was it ever?
No, because he was nowhere near to be on the focal point.
No.
Actually, this guy roamed everywhere.
No, don't confuse my points. My point is we have Jesus, Saka, Martinelli, and Odegaard on the pitch with him that will also be contributing to goals. He will not have to be dependent on solely as a goal scorer. Where Chelsea, let's be honest.
What have you bought him for then?
1 second. Go back to Chelsea of old. You guys had three defenders, 2 wing backs, 2 midfielders, and they were not relied upon on goals as much as the front 3 were relied upon. But guess what? Luckily,
the strikers relied upon to score goals. I didn't know that.
Let me finish. Luckily, Reece James chipped in. Luckily, Chilwell chipped in. Luckily, Rudiger chipped in. Luckily, these guys chipped in because then it relieved pressure from the midfield. Because the midfield
luckily they scored because our attack couldn't.
Bro, if you realize it, the way you guys were set up.
Top goal scorer and assister for about 90% of the season in 21-22.
Me also. Bro, you guys were set up as a defensive team.
No, because when we were playing brilliant football at the start at the 21-22 season, Chilwell and James were high as fuck up the pitch, and we had the 3rd highest defensive line in the league. So we weren't defensive.
Which game is this from?
I don't know.
Playing 5 at the back.
What game do you think that is? That's the Champions League final.
That's wrong.
Yep.
That's wrong. It's wrong.
Exactly. Timo Werner was on the left, Kai Havertz in the middle.
I want to go back to this thing.
Mount is on the right.
I want to go back to this thing about you said about confidence. He got played by every Chelsea manager.
Exactly.
That he had on him for long stretches at a time. He should have had all the confidence in the world.
Tuchel's project.
Even the guy he hated, Lampard, he played him for long stretches.
Okay, so 1 second. Let's just wrap this portion up. Do you guys all believe Kai Havertz will flop at Arsenal?
I don't think that we are wrong on the misprofile on the player. I think you're wrong on misprofile on the player, and he will end up where he was at Chelsea at the top 3.
Okay, fair enough.
I think you'll start him in midfield, but then he'll move
quickly
up.
You'll realize that he's not.
You'll switch him with Jesus now and again, and he'll never play midfield.
I actually think we're switching. I don't think we're playing the same system.
I don't
think Arsenal plays the same system.
I'm just going to tell you this. Yesterday, I had our Arsenal correspondent from Football London, Kia, on the show.
Yeah.
He was saying that they signed him to play in the midfield, and he's going to be playing in the Xhaka role.
Good.
Define the Xhaka role.
A left 8 that can drift in as a second striker.
Egal, I'm saying
you need him to score goals.
8 in the quarter.
No, he's going to be a late runner into the box, like how Lampard.
So you need him to score goals and try to add more goals in the midfield, and your answer is one of the worst finishers I've ever watched.
Can I say how Arsenal going to play next season? And we'll see if it'll work. He
also adds height to our team.
Egal, do you know how I think he's going to play next season?
Yeah, his heading's a myth.
Egal, let me tell you how I think. I think you actually switching the system. I don't think you're going to play the way you played last year.
You're one defensive midfielder. That's what you're playing.
No. I think it's going to be double pivot. I think Odegaard is actually quality enough midfielder to play slightly. He's not going to be beside Rice, but he's going to be like the thing about Odegaard is really good.
He's going to be the connector.
He's going to be a connector, but made of him a 2. And Kai Havertz is going to be a 10. He's going to be like a Yeah, but Shaka. One thing that you think that Kai Havertz is going to do, what Shaka actually did, which is you're not only going to play in attack. Sometimes you're going to have to defend. And that's when you're going to lose Kai Havertz.
And when we defend, luckily we have a guy like Thomas Partey on the bench, probably better than any player you guys have on your bench.
That's what I'm saying. You see, that's where we're going back to my favorite when clicking of the midfield. If Partey doesn't, you're going to have 3 players new in the midfield. I want your same energy for our cohesion for your midfield.
With
goalkeeper.
Jorginho and El
One
Neni as
second,
backup.
1 second. We also are forgetting there is a big part of Poch coming in. Now, I don't diss Poch. I think Poch is a good
I think
manager.
he's better than
I think
Arteta.
he's a good manager, right? And I know Chelsea, you guys don't really give managers time, but there is a lot of people backing Poch and backing this whole rebuild. So how do you guys think next season is going to go? And how many players do you still need for next season to do for you guys to do well?
I
think 3 players. Well,
Okay.
4 goalkeeper.
I've given up that they're going to get a goalkeeper.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But 3 major.
I think they need I think they're going to bring in another striker, and they're going to bring in 2 midfielders.
Yeah.
Caicedo and someone. Don't ask. I don't know who else the other one. I would have said Lavia 3 weeks ago, but I don't think we'll get Lavia.
Yeah.
I think he'll go Liverpool or something like that.
For me,
I would bring in a goalkeeper only because if we have Kepa, for me it anchors what this team can do, because we could have a great defense and midfield, and we could be winning 1-0 93rd minute or drawing 1-0 in 93rd minute, and biscuit wrists will just have a bozo moment and cost us. So I would get 4, but I think we're going to get 3. But you can also, and Lukaku does count as a summer transfer, by the way. So we've already got him in. So I think 3 more coming in. But I can just sort of say Caicedo is our number 1 transfer target, and it's not even close with anyone else. Anyone else coming in, it's just going to be afterthought like that. That's why we're not going in highly on anything else. It's all Caicedo, and then what happens afterwards, unless it's like a 18-year-old Brazilian or something like that.
Look,
what about you?
I think 3.
3.
You don't like me anymore.
No, but what about so goalkeeper, striker, midfielder?
I don't think we're going for a goalkeeper, and a striker's only going to be dependent on how Jackson looks during preseason. But we're going to get Caicedo. That's the main plan. Go for a creative midfielder afterwards. And then if we need to, we go for a striker. But, I mean, there's enough options that I understand Poch wanting to experiment.
I would keep an eye out for Cherky. Those rumours keep getting hotter and hotter every day. So
I think
that might be the end, like a bonus one.
You guys believe this rebuild, you guys are doing everything perfectly at this moment in time. And you're happy with everything.
There's no such a thing as perfectly.
No, it's not perfectly because we haven't bought.
I know Lewis is happy though. He's been smiling.
He's happy with the departures. He's happy with
we got rid of Mount and Havertz. This is an 8 out of 10 already. They can't go lower.
Egal.
Actually, did you the one that bought it?
You guys said 3 players, 4 players. Guaranteed you're gonna bring those in.
We're not guarantee. Why you want to clip us?
Guarantee what? Guarantee what?
You know what? Forget it. Forget about that.
Egal.
Forget 1 second. Forget about the signings because we're never gonna get nowhere with
I would target 5th.
Expectations.
Yeah, but if we're still getting Champions League.
Target top 4, depending on how the season goes. I won't be screaming if we don't make it, but I'll be disappointed. We should be trying to go for that, especially with 1 game a week.
Exactly.
Top 4 is a must.
By the way,
if we don't get it,
let me explain something that's what is actually going to be happening if we sign the striker. I'll give you a chronologic position of Chelsea this transfer window. This is why I think is going to happen. If we sign Caicedo, I think we're going to go for the striker next. And depends what kind of striker we're going to get. If we're going to get a striker that's like Vlahovic, that will give us another free pass on the wings because, what's his name? The Jackson guy can play off the left as the second striker also. He can play the center forward, but he could be a power to the left side as a second striker. That could bring to a conversation for another 10. If we get another 10 like Turkey, that will bring, if we still have time in the transfer window, that means that we can sign the goalkeeper. But the goalkeeper is going to be addressed at the end of the season. But that's the only thing I think we do it. That's it.
So in conclusion, I'm being extremely harsh. Chelsea's on the right track, and I shouldn't.
Apologies accepted.
Your expectations for next season.
No, I would just listen. I would just say this: I understand where people are coming from, and even ourselves, we don't know because we haven't. That's why I don't know why anyone's predicting Chelsea until after the transfer window. That's all I'm saying. I want to wait until after the transfer window or once we get our main targets in. Then we can go, yeah, this is what I want. This is what I expect. That's the whole thing. Right now, I totally agree. If the Premier League was to start right now, and we would struggle to get top 4. I think.
Aren't you also worried that the preseason's around the corner, Lewis, and you still haven't signed you still haven't signed a striker, you still haven't signed Caicedo, and whoever your third or fourth signing will be, you still haven't made
the striker's dependent on preseason, so you have to see how Nicholas Jackson and the other strikers look over the next few games. But we have 6 preseason games. There's no reason to stress. Like, that you could come next week.
I have is Caicedo. That's the only worry.
Our first game is next week, this time next week. So 7 days. 7 days to sort that out. And if not, oh no, he's missed 1 game. The world's ending. No, it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
No, but so as long as you bring in Caicedo before the end of the window, you don't care.
Yeah, I don't care how long it takes. Get him in.
I am.
I think it's
before the season starts. I think
it's important you get him in before the season starts to at least get used to playing the way you guys want to play.
Yeah, agreed.
With the new manager,
yes.
With the new manager with Pochettino, you need these players getting as much coaching as possible, because that is the only way you guys are going to get.
That's true. That's true.
Ready.
Yeah, Caicedo needs to be in the US. That's for sure.
Okay. So this is the portion of the show where I'm just going to ask you guys if I'm speaking facts or if I have a Chelsea agenda, and you guys let me know if I'm speaking facts or
yeah. Okay.
Kai Havertz being misused, you guys are saying it's an agenda.
Massive.
It's not just you. It's just everyone else.
Okay.
It's the biggest agenda on this app right now.
Todd Boehly messed up Chelsea, and if Roman was in charge, you guys would be better.
Ooh.
Agenda or facts?
It's not a fact.
I think it's a little bit early.
It's too early.
It's too early. Exactly.
I think it's in the middle. I'm going to sit on the fence, even though it's broken when I sit on it.
You know what? The Cronkies have been a lot better owners lately. They've been spending money and they've been hiring the right people. So I back them.
What a trophy.
And also, no complaints from the Arsenal fans.
Hey, no complaints, bro. We're next. The Denver Nuggets just won the chip.
Havertz. I signed William.
If you guys get rid of Lukaku and bring in Vlahovic, he won't bang at Chelsea. You think that's an agenda, or you think you actually don't trust Vlahovic?
Agenda.
You said that. We don't say that. You said that. Of course, that is
I'm
agenda.
asking you, do you think Vlahovic will do well if he comes in?
Yes.
Why not?
As long as he can get into the right positions and finish his chances, yes.
I think Nkunku changes the dynamic. I think Nkunku changes the dynamic of this team.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the difference.
You guys are going to be playing 1 game a week, but you've thinned your squad so much that you're going to realize that you lack squad depth come the business end of the season.
Agenda. Look at our squad depth in 16.
At the moment, that's agenda.
Look at our squad depth. We had Loftus-Cheek. Loftus-Cheek, who wasn't near his development at that time. We had Nathaniel Chalobah. We had who else? Ola Aina. We had Nathan Ake. We had Batshuayi. Our depth was hideous, but we didn't need to rotate like that. Still made the FA Cup final on the Premier League.
Yeah, only if we have a massive injury crisis.
Hey.
You really overestimate the depth that we need for next season. That's why we're clearing out some.
How about this one? This one? This one here, I don't think it's an agenda. I genuinely think this is an honest thing, but a lot of people criticize me. I think Chelsea are going to need at least 6 months before you analyze and critique how they play. Give them time to adjust, and even the players. So I don't think the first.
Are you gonna give us 6 months before you're gonna talk?
I'm not. I might give predictions on how I think Chelsea's going to do throughout the whole season.
Right.
But until
as long as we're not doing 2 wins in 18 like Potterball,
until the first like 15 games of the season or 10 games of the season, we won't actually know if Chelsea are bad or good. So if you guys lose your first 3 games,
this is clippable content for if we lose our first 3 games and you start talking wild.
I think it's
give us some time. Give us some time.
No, I actually would give Chelsea time, and I would give Pochettino time.
Would you give Chelsea time on Terrace?
Yeah. Listen, I'm not this guy. I gave Chelsea a pass all season. Wait, last season, I was one of the last people to make fun of you guys.
You never stop. How are you going to be last if you never stop?
No, Boehly is the guy who's getting the most smoke. I think Todd Boehly is the guy who's messing you guys up the most.
Why you want Todd Boehly to be your owner? Like, why?
Wait, you guys think? 1 second. What about you guys? Ask a question. What are you saying? Because the whole point of the question is if it's a factor or an agenda. You guys have your own agendas that you think people don't agree with.
I
Do you think
Todd
Kai Havertz
Boehly-
will be a brilliant midfielder for you guys?
I think Kai Havertz can do the job, and I think he's been misprofiled.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Where'd you get that idea that he was to be missed profiled? You have to be playing somewhere where he was deep before profiling.
I think you guys thought.
Name me the team where he used to play, so he was cooking to be missed profiled. Name me the team.
He was playing at Leverkusen. He was never the striker at Leverkusen as much as he was.
He was never in the midfielder in Leverkusen either.
Yes, he was. He played games in the midfield. He played in midfield 3.
He played games in the midfield.
He played in the midfield 3. He played as a 10, and he played on the right.
Okay.
He's played in the midfield. He's played as a winger. He's played all over the place at Leverkusen. Where at Chelsea, he played almost majority of his games as a 10 or as a striker. And that's why I'm saying you guys put too much pressure on him to deliver goals. Where his whole thing.
Egal, can you share my screen, please?
Yeah.
So I'd like to ask your thoughts on these individual comments from Kai Havertz, please. I can play anything up front. After 3 years at Chelsea, everyone should know by now what I do, aka playing up front. This position issue is getting on my nerves now. Everyone knows that I can play on the right, on the left, as a number 9 and as a number 10. Of course, the positions are different, but I can play anything up front. I like to arrive in the box often, and I don't care if I'm there as a number 9 or as a number 10. See how he constantly mentions 9 or 10. So how is he being misprofiled with all of these quotes and all of these managers who constantly play him as a starting number?
Receipts.
Fair enough. Listen, I'll say this.
So please, this is for future. He has not been misprofiled.
1 second. What somebody says and what they actually do, like Jesus spoke about him not wanting to play as a striker, wanting to play on the wing. He's clearly lying. People sometimes say things just to say,
He always saying that he actually didn't want to play wings. He wanted to play striker.
1 second. Footballers have been known for saying political answers on many occasions. This is just another case of that. If you're going to play somebody in the midfield as a 10 or as an 8 that drives box to box, it doesn't matter as long as they're getting into the positions on the pitch where they want to play. Henry was not a striker; he was a winger originally. And guess what? When he became a striker, he still took up positions from the wing, drifting inward. So just
but he could apply himself a million times better, though.
He delivered.
Unlike Kai Havertz. This is the difference that we are literally telling you. Thierry Henry is an example of someone versatile who will deliver on multiple positions. Kai Havertz can play multiple positions and delivers in 0. Your best position for him will be the bench.
Hazard started out on the left and still continued there, but he could also play in the middle. He delivered. That's the thing. Kai Havertz very rarely delivered.
Lampard went from playing as a cam to playing as a DM and delivered.
It's just listen. I don't know. That's the thing. If we would, I would love. I wish I had an alternative universe where he went to another club and I could ask Gal what he thought about Havertz going to this club and playing in midfield. Because I think it's. Listen, it's your play. It's your play now, and we do the same. We protect them. You know, we criticize them, but anyone else criticizes them. Unless we really dislike them, we've got a problem with them. I'm just seeing a lot of mental gymnastics to try and make this transfer
just like at Chelsea.
Because there is no way. If I was to ask you 2 weeks before you even linked with him, you thought Havertz was on your club's buying list. There's no way.
Nobody did.
Nobody started the whole of last season.
Nobody did. But 1 second. No, nobody did. But the reality is, I've seen enough videos and tactical videos of how he could potentially play at the club, and also spoken to people who are close to the club. Like yesterday, when I spoke to the head of Football London in Kia, when he was talking about how he's going to be potentially used in the midfield.
Who is he?
Mikel Arteta, when he spoke about when we signed him, that we plan to use him in the midfield. And now, since you guys have your own receipts, I'm going to show you mine about where he could potentially play.
Johnny. I spoke to Johnny. He told me Mason Mount is the best after Cruyff.
Nah, he's talking shit. Anyways. So look at this. So you got at Chelsea, he played.
We never played him as his natural position.
He played 69 games as a striker, 54 games as a 10 games as a winger, and he never actually had a game where his starting position was in a midfield 3.
So he never played with Aubameyang as a 10?
He played as a 10.
Hang on. He played in a midfield 3 in a few Champions League games.
Yeah.
Oh, when I say midfield 3, I mean him as like an 8.
Yeah. No, that's waffle because there was a 7-game spell on the Lampard.
When he was at Leverkusen, he had 18 games where he played in the midfield. Like
but those 18 games probably like 10 years ago when he was 17.
Egal, that Chelsea one is false because Lampard had a period where he played a Kante, Mount, and Havertz midfield 3 in October to December.
Was he not the most advanced in that midfield?
He played 2.
No, I think he interchanged with Mount.
You think? Hold on. You think?
So you're telling me he did play in the midfield then?
He did play in the midfield in 2021 under Lampard between October and December.
So we're getting somewhere now. You guys were saying earlier he never played in the midfield.
No,
I've never said that.
We said he should have.
Yeah, I was saying he never played in Germany as an 8. We used them everywhere.
I'm just saying that's
so my
also if those
We've tried him in all these positions. He stunk at all of them. Simple as
those Bayern Leverkusen game stats are to be correct, right? Which I doubt now because the Chelsea ones are wrong. We're saying 18 games out of a potential 141 games he played in midfield. That's what we're saying. So we're not saying he played like 100 games in midfield. We're saying 18 out of 141. 141 he played in. Were those 18 consistent games, or were they like 18 sporadic games? Do you know what I mean? It's not like he's like you're taking James Ward-Prowse.
How long was he in the Bayern Leverkusen? How long was he over there?
How
long he had the career?
We signed him at 20, right?
He was there from 2014 until 2020.
Right, but
for 6 years. That's his content.
No, but he only started playing in the first team.
Yeah, he's 18 or something, right? Oh, 2016. Okay, so it would have been 16 then or something like that. I mean.
So 4 years.
Listen, I honestly... I feel
140 times 4 years and 18 games in midfield.
Okay, 1 second. Wait, what the hell is this? I think they're confusing attacking midfield. Yeah, so in his career, his entire career, this is where he's played and how many games he's played. Lewis is gone? Oh, he's back.
No.
Okay, so this is I don't know why we're looking at this so deeply, but he's played as a 10 143 times. He's played as a striker 78 times. He's played in his whole entire career 18 times as a central mid. He's played as a right winger 52 times, left winger 7 times, and a left midfielder once. So that if you want to count the left midfielder in the cam, that's 19 times where he's played as a deep line midfielder, basically.
And this is including Germany games, is it?
This is his whole entire career.
Oh, so it would include Germany.
Okay, good luck. So you want to bet on 65 million on guy that flopped 3 seasons in England to put him in that position based on that 18 games?
Where was
Egal, if United made this transfer,
his best goal returns.
Oh my God! If United made that,
his best goal returns are from the central attacking midfield position.
That's like 4 more goals.
Look at his assists.
That's actually not too bad, to be fair.
But so based on that,
he didn't show any of that creative ability for us.
Based on that, he should be playing. 1 second. Based on that, he should be playing as a midfielder more than as a center forward. He shouldn't be depended on as the focal point, more or less.
If the majority of these are the Bundesliga, though, I feel like that does play a little part.
Hey,
because I've seen him at Chelsea, I've seen him ignore runners.
Can you imagine if that transfer window, if Kai Havertz went to the Manchester United and Egal?
We should be focusing on.
They're going to turn him into Bundesliga Kai Havertz. You watch.
But we should be focusing on.
You don't believe that, bro.
We should be focusing on
at all. You were cussing out this transfer 3 weeks ago. Sorry,
we should be focusing on where he's been playing the last 3 years, not his entire career.
Playing
the last 3 years.
You know what's funny?
He's been playing as a 10 or up front exclusively.
Look at
the stats there.
You know what's funny, actually? You know what's actually funny?
Even for Germany.
None of us actually thought that we're gonna get rid of Kai Havertz. We
knew
Mount is gone. No. We knew that there's not a soul on Chelsea fan base that we can get rid of him because we didn't think that we're gonna sell him. That's the problem.
You helped us out of FFP. That's what you did. You helped us out.
Hey, you should thank us. And when we win the league,
You
with
do.
two of your former players,
Thank you.
We
and when we
do.
win the league with two of your former players, we'll be thanking
Oh,
you.
but midfield has to click first. Hold on a second.
Bro, why does the midfield need to click when I have former players from the previous season?
Which
that can
one?
help me?
Are you sure Partey is staying?
Yes.
Let me tell you
100%
something.
sure.
And if he doesn't, and if he leaves, we get Lavia.
Oh, so hold on a second. So you're gonna have 3 new midfielders, and they all of a sudden don't have to click?
Bro, not all of them are starting.
If you win the league,
Hold on a second.
Kai Havertz
Lavia?
will not be a starter
Rice?
in your team. You can clip that.
What?
He will not. If you
If
win
we
the
win-
league, Kai Havertz will not be a starter in your team. He will be a squad player at best.
And you want to know
squad.
something? There's nothing wrong with that.
No, but I think
Yeah,
you're going.
not spending 65 million. There is something wrong with that.
I
Guess
think this
what?
is good.
Guess what? Get your funny up, not your money up, bro. That's what Chelsea fans always say to me.
Yeah,
I
we
think-
got 65 million of our money up. What are you talking about?
That's what it
Fuck
is.
you.
It's
Thank
all
you.
good.
You gave us
Can
the
you
most money
imagine?
this summer.
No,
It's all good.
20
Lewis.
more million will get
Listen,
us
it's all
actual
good.
number 8 Caicedo.
Lewis, nowadays, 50 million is the new 25. That's
You
the
wanted
problem.
an 8. Why didn't you sign Gallagher? I don't
Yeah.
understand.
Am I lying? 50 million is the new 25.
Yes, it is.
Not
It's
the
a
new
standard. It's a
25.
standard. It's new 30. Whatever.
Bro,
It's a
For
standard.
They
English
paid
player, not
50
for
million.
German player.
Man City paid
Yeah.
50 million for Laporte, and now he's a bench player for that.
No, 50 million. Yeah, you're right. It's gone up.
Look,
50 million is the
not
new
Yeah, it is
25,
going up.
so-
And
Fair.
by the way,
Maybe,
this whole,
you know,
this whole
fair
thing
enough.
about 65 million for Kai Havertz,
It's 50. I know.
It's still terrible money. It's still
It's
terrible
50
money.
million.
No matter what way
50
you-
right now, yeah, I
plus
know.
add-on.
50 million, but Laporte was cooking
Oh,
before he
60
was
plus
bought on
add-ons.
50
Yo,
mil.
1 second.
No,
you
Kai
guys,
Havertz
only-
wasn't cooking.
you guys have turned the whole show into Kai Havertz show. You guys have been
We didn't
successful.
do that.
We sh-
We didn't do that.
You
guys have
brought
been
up
successful.
Havertz, bro.
But let me ask you guys this: since you guys believe that you guys are close to Arsenal, you guys also believe you're close to Liverpool City.
We're
No,
close
no.
to top 4. We
Guys,
never
look,
said it.
Let
You
me
did.
just say, let me say
Yeah.
right now, the way it's looking right now, with the transfer window now being like July the 11th, my prediction is that finishing 3 teams finishing in the top 3, depending on their transfer business right now, is City, Arsenal, and Liverpool on their transfer
Yeah.
business right now. Whatever we want to do, that's fine at this moment on July 11th. That might completely change by, like I said, by the start of the season or after the transfer window. But the way the business has been done with your incomings, and because City are just City, you have to put them there no matter what, right? That's for me free at the moment. If on paper, that looks like three of the top 4 places are locked down, and everyone's fighting for that 4th place
But
or the 5th.
I'll give
place,
you
know.
I'll give you example. For example, transfer rates. You like to do transfer rates, right? Egal, you always like 0 out of 10. What's the transfer rate? I'll give Arsenal 10 out of 10 by signing Rice, but bringing Kai Havertz, brought it to 7 out of 10.
Yep.
You
I'd say
literally
then I would
downgraded.
say- But then I would say this. I would say this.
I think Rice is
I do
brilliant
like-
for Arsenal.
But I do like
Yeah.
I do like the Timber signing as well. I do like the
I
Timber
don't
signing.
know who that
But
Timber
he
guy
plays
is.
for Ajax. He plays for Ajax.
I
But
don't
And are you
know.
guys not worried? You haven't made any signings of note yet besides Jackson.
Nope.
like I
We
said
know the
before,
Caicedo deal is only an issue to do with payment structures.
Payment structure.
I
It's
honestly
nothing to
think
do with-
I honestly think Caicedo. The way if I the ratings I think Chelsea have, Caicedo is the transfer tag up there. Anything else is just a bonus.
Exactly.
Like,
Same
they
as for
think
you.
of that.
Rice
I
was
just-
your main target. For us, is Caicedo.
That's what I mean. But it's like that. It's like that. The difference in it, it's like, oh, and then we'll go see about a striker, another midfielder. If there's anything left, can we sneak a goalkeeper in?
Well,
here?
Aubameyang's now had his return to pre-season moved back to Monday too.
Yeah, he's gone.
It was meant to be tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, Aubameyang, is he staying?
No,
No.
He's-
He just
he's
wants to
gonna
sign with
happen.
Lukaku.
Again,
He's got
what's happening is that anyone that's leaving, they're training
They
either by
push him-
themselves
they-
or in
they
a
tell
group,
them not
in a
to
group
come
by
to the
themselves,
preseason.
yeah. Like
They just tell them don't come.
Yeah, like Ziyech and
Save
stuff
money
like
on the
that.
flight.
And Cho as well, like stuff like that.
They told
They're
them
not-
don't.
they're not
don't.
training with
Only
the
one
main
is Ziyech because he wants to show that his knees are healthy, and they're not allowed to the main campus. He's
Yeah.
training somewhere
Neitis.
individually.
Okay, so expectations.
By the way-
you guys are saying challenge for top 4. Winter Surfer saying just get into Europe, right?
Yeah, technically, I'm saying
I'm
like
not-
get in top 5 because championship is top 5 championship.
I think the way it's right now, I think there are 5 other teams are right now better than us on paper. I would say that's just me. That's just me. I'm just saying, just me. I think 6 would be a good finish at this moment in time. I really do.
I think Liverpool don't know what they're doing yet. I think they did a decent signing, but all of a sudden, Szoboszlai, guy that nobody knew last year, all of a sudden, oh my God, we all want them. No, you didn't. He played for the same team and as Timo Werner, as what's his name, as Nkunku, and nobody knew about him. All of a sudden, Szoboszlai is the best.
I do like their forward options, though. I do like their forward. The
forward options are good.
1 second. Since we're here, do you have anything else to challenge me on? Because I feel like Chelsea fans always have something.
No, all the clicking.
Lewis,
no, I would say no.
Lewis, you've probably seen a bunch of tweets or something crazy that I've said before.
No. What I remember about you is when we won the Club World Cup and you came onto the terrace and you quoted a guy saying the Club World Cup was not important and it was a wrong quote from a Wikipedia page. That's when I knew you didn't like. That's how much I knew you didn't like Chelsea because of what's happened in the past. That's how I knew you had an agenda, and I'm fine with it. I'm fine with people not liking and having an agenda against. We do the same. We do the same. I don't mind that.
Despise Arsenal with every fibre of my being.
I just like the way. If I disagree with something with Egal, I can have a discussion with him about it. Even you and Alex right now, it's not heated. It might be like loud voices. But it's always going to be respectful in the end. You know what I mean? It's always got to be like that. That's the thing. We can't lose our heads.
I was right about Raheem Sterling being a flop. Do you agree with that, Lewis?
It's been a season.
Yeah.
Like, he's been shit. Been shit. But we'll see
this is the problem. Like, you can say that he'd been flop, but the problem is
he's still got most goals.
You're not gonna say Sterling is bad, even though I didn't want the guy because I never rate him that high. In the Chelsea's last season, are you gonna say that everybody? No. By the way, guys, Szoboszlai, I understand that he played good with Nkunku, but it doesn't mean that I don't want him. I already have the player. But the people that saying that Szoboszlai is such a good player, no, you didn't even watch him, and he played only one.
Let's see what Sterling does with a more attacking coach and more attacking.
Exactly.
Let's do that because I think people are expecting to be creative. So you know.
Yo, is Levi Colwell leaving?
No, he's staying. The guy has
unless he comes out.
We won't know until next week.
Unless he comes out and says it. Unless he comes out.
Yo, your boy from the byline said he's staying, so I trust him.
But okay. I'm not even gonna go there.
Hey, he broke the Havertz Arsenal news, so
he did. Listen, and also actually, I listened to that space. Even he said he's not saying he needs to start every game. He just needs minutes.
Which I understand.
He's willing. He's willing.
Oh, he's staying. He's staying.
Bro.
Yeah, especially with Badiashile injured, he's gonna start, right?
Well,
do you think Saliba would have be afraid of challenge Badiashile to get the number 1 position?
Sorry.
Would you do you think that Saliba will be afraid of Badiashile challenge for starting 11 anywhere, for France, for anywhere?
No, I think
same thing. I don't think Cole will be afraid of challenge of Badiashile, even though Badiashile.
I think the only thing that his representatives might be concerned about his development. That's it.
And that's the good question to have.
Yeah, that's the question he has
actually asking. I don't think he's asking like, I want to be number 1. Yeah. He just wants. For example, if we go and get another left-footed center back right now, like young one, like what's his name, that Croatian guy, that will tell Colwell. If we're getting Guardiola, that will tell Colwell he ain't getting into this team. That would mean.
Okay.
And I think
especially with Thiago Silva halfway into retirement.
You know what? Let's end the show on a good note because apparently I'm not allowed to speak about Chelsea unless I have Chelsea.
You're not allowed.
So I'm not going to do that no more.
If you don't have me beside you, you're not allowed.
Nah, you know what? Qasim's good too. We got other people around. But yo, Lewis, big up for coming on. Honestly, do appreciate it. I seen you talking about Chelsea's new kit.
Hit the likes, people button. Hit the like button.
Which logo do you want? Playboy?
Give me the Playboy logo.
Sesame Street, Coca-Cola?
No, we ain't doing no Sesame Street.
Yeah, Pornhub. I want Pornhub.
Is Pornhub on the list?
Yeah.
No. Playboy is.
If we don't sign nobody, that's what we're gonna look like.
You know what makes sense with all the OnlyFans girls you have. OnlyFans would make sense too.
Imagine the Premier League.
Are you jealous that we have better period girls than the Arsenal fan base?
It's not too late.
I'm just saying you have a bunch of girls that are willing to get paid.
But imagine the Premier League blocking Paramount Plus, but allowing us to have OnlyFans on the front of our shirt.
That won't make sense. Yeah, that won't make sense. Listen, they have a reputation. But guys, we're gonna wrap it up here. Honestly, it's been a great show. Big up Lewis for coming on. Big up Alex for coming on, and big up my guy Winter Surfer for coming on. Go check out Casual FC for Winter Surfer. Lewis, of course, you guys know where to catch him. I don't even have to say it. Carefree Lewis G. Don't forget to check that out. Also, one of the craziest Chelsea shows on the internet right now. And of course, Alex. Where are you showing up nowadays with the shotgun?
Nowhere. The hunting season is not open.
Okay, so are you still doing
just
streams?
I'm Twitter and replying to you all the time.
New Year's though.
Check.
No, on a serious note though, why does it bother Chelsea fans when I tweet about Chelsea?
I don't.
The same way it bothers Arsenal fans when I tweet about Arsenal.
No, but bro, there's times where I will tweet something nice, like I rate this kit 8 out of 10. They're like, stop talking about our club.
I don't know. It's just one.
I don't know that. I just think you passive aggressive when you tweet.
If you don't know them, Egal, just ignore them. If you do know them, then you can have the conversation with them.
Bro, you guys know what happened to me on TikTok? Chelsea fans.
You see, this is what like you grown ass man. Why you have a TikTok?
Bro, I'm a content creator. I do TikTok. Chelsea fans got 2 content creators I know banned for making fun of John Terry, and they almost got me banned. It was crazy. Remember when John Terry was getting into beef with people online?
Oh,
I don't come for our kings then. Don't come for our kings. We're around.
Yeah. That's
it was nuts.
Leave my club's name out your fucking mouth. All that shit. Word to Will Smith.
Yeah, anyways, you guys have a good one, guys. This has been a great stream. Lewis, thanks for coming on. Winter Surfer, Alex, hopefully you guys enjoy it. And anyone in the chat, if you guys want to challenge me, I'm not scared to have you on the show. We'll have a good discussion like this. But if you're going to be an idiot, you're not welcome. Anyways, peace out, guys.
Subscribe.